Hola todos, it's Lacey. Thank you for joining me in my high desert mountain village of Guanajuato, Mexico. So today I'm making a delicious homemade tomato soup with fresh tomatoes. I hope you enjoy my recipe. For those of you who don't know, I am a mother to a large family of 8 children, 6 that are still in the home. And I'm a wife to a wonderful, hardworking Latino man that we followed down to Guanajuato, Mexico, to his hometown to live about 2.5 years ago. We built our home in the middle of a field and we just started our homestead about 9 months ago now. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and look forward to more videos. Here we go. I have about 4 kilos of tomatoes that I've washed off and doused with some vinegar to disinfect them, and now I'm just going to cut them in half. So I have my tomatoes. I'm just going to cut them in half, and I just take out this part like this and then place them open side down on a cookie sheet, and then we're going to pop them in the oven to get them roasting. Okay, yeah.
The chicken in the house.
I'll get the chicken. The chicken's in the house. Now for about 3 kilos of tomatoes, or about this much, I add 1 whole onion, and I'm gonna just put it into big chunks and then put it on the roasting pan and throw it in the oven, because I'm gonna blend this all up, so it doesn't really matter how big or how you cut the onion. I have the oven at 425 degrees for roasting. Can you hear my chicken? She wants to go in the pantry, but I'm not letting her. So just like that. And then I'm going to add 3 cloves of garlic. So I have my garlic. It's still pretty fresh. It doesn't look like it's been dried out much. I'm not complaining. I have my 3 cloves right here. I'm just gonna add to my pan, and then I'm gonna sprinkle with a little bit of salt and 1 teaspoon of salt. And I'm gonna pop this into the oven. Let's get it in. We're gonna roast this for about 20 minutes. I'm just gonna clean up my mess and get my blender ready. These are all the scraps that I'm gonna throw to the chickens. And here's my blender. All set and ready to go. We just started our raised bed. We planted all of our herbs, our calabaza, zucchinis, what else did we plant? Cucumber, and now we're gonna plant our pepper seedlings are just coming up, and our tomato seedlings are just coming up. So we're gonna plant those soon too. But I can't wait to have some of our own fresh vegetables to use while we're cooking. I've been craving that for such a long time. So excited. Everything's cleaned up, and I'm just waiting for the tomatoes. I thought I would share what Pa's working on today. So this used to be his man closet hallway that we just installed the stairs to go to our upstairs in the future. And they're closing it off with a wall up here and then a roof. Pa's always working hard. I'm so grateful. The tomatoes are ready and roasted. No, I'm just gonna take them out. Now I'm gonna add the tomatoes to the blender, the onions, and the garlic. This smells heavenly. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. I was actually inspired to make tomato soup today by one of my friends. He posted a picture that he was making a pasta sauce, and right away I was like, oh my, I need to make my tomato soup. Looks like we'll have to blend that stuff separately and then mix it all together at the end. All right, I have my soup pot on, and I'm gonna add a half a stick of butter. You don't want to skip the butter. It really gives it its creaminess and so much flavor. So you'll just melt that down, and then I'm gonna add the stuff that's in my blender. So I pureed my tomato all the way in the blender as much as I possibly could because I like mine really thin, but you can leave it a little bit chunky if you'd like. My butter is melted, and I'm going to add that to my saucepan. Stir that up. It's gonna splatter, so make sure you keep it on low. And I'm gonna blend up the rest of these. I'm gonna add a spoonful of sugar, 1 tablespoon, to kind of offset that acid from the tomato. And 1 cup of chicken broth. And then last but not least, I'm gonna add a little bit of dairy. So I usually add milk. When I was in Minnesota and I'd make my tomato soup, I would add milk or heavy cream and put about a cup in there depending on how creamy you like it. But here in Mexico, they have crema, which is absolutely perfect for the tomato soup. So I'm gonna add crema instead. It makes it super rich. So just make sure that it's not too hot. You don't wanna curdle it. And then I'm gonna add my crema or my leche, my milk. And that's it. That's about 3/4 cup of crema. But milk will do the same thing if you don't have milk or crema. Milk will do the same thing, or heavy cream. Come and take a peek. Absolutely delicious. Now you can add herbs to this. You could add some cayenne chili powder if you want it to have a little bit of a kick, but I'm gonna leave it just like this because I have a bunch of little ones that are gonna eat it with grilled cheese sandwiches. But it's ready. That's it. I hope you all enjoyed this recipe. If you did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and we'll catch you on the next one. Adios.